Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a good one. And let's start digging into the things I covered in the Crypto Minute. So, OpenSea has basically reached FAFO status. FAFO, don't know what that means? FAFO? Go look it up. You'll giggle and then you'll come back to this. Now, what they've done is they've disabled their, yeah, you know the drill, need some moisturizer. They've disabled their royalty program, right? Meaning that if you are, you know, a creator of NFTs and you're expecting to make some money on secondary sales, not going to happen. They've turned that off. And I think that's a bad idea. And so does Mark Cuban, and so do a few other people. And I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, why would you do that? Right? Like, that's kind of why a lot of artists got into NFTs, because when they sell, let's say, a canvas or something else like that, they only get paid once. And, that's something that nobody really appreciates. So here was a way for them to get paid every time somebody sold their artwork for more money. And OpenSea has now said, well, not really. We're gonna cut that out. And I think that they've made a really big mistake, because you're just alienating a bunch of creators. And for what reason? Right? Frankly, to me, it's just one of those things where I think that I can see a story on both sides. But I kind of like the idea of, somebody buying, a piece of art, let's say a Rembrandt, physical painting, and the Rembrandt family receiving a piece of the money every time it gets sold to the next person. And the reason why is because, well, that artwork continues to live, in my humble opinion. That's just me. So if the artwork continues to live, why shouldn't the artist gain some of that payment going forward? And you can say, well, I own it. It's mine. It's 100% mine. And like I said, I can see the cases on both sides. I just don't know where I fall. Like, I have a hard time. But, when I think about how artists don't get paid and how long it takes for them to even sell a single piece, kind of side with the artist. Just saying. Just look at it like that. So I think OpenSea is about to F around and find out. Because I don't like the idea of people being alienated. I don't like the idea of people not making money off of their creation. Right? If it continues to give, then they should continue to get paid. Just an idea. So we'll see how that plays out. I do think it's a bad idea just to alienate. I think it's from a monetary perspective, it's messed up. So I'm expecting a little bit of volatility in the NFT space, because OpenSea is still the largest in that space. So we're gonna have to see how that plays out. Now, Yuga Labs, which is BAYC, I'm sorry, which owns Bored Ape Yacht Club, rather. Investors are suing them and Sotheby's and everybody else because NFT prices have tanked. Okay, I get it. You got some sour grapes, but a lawsuit because you made a bad investment? I don't understand. I really have a hard time, finally. Got to go through the morning moisturization routine. Just got to get it right. I really don't understand the lawsuit, right? You made an investment. It took a dive. I mean, so if you bought a house from a home builder and the value of your home decreased, are you going to go back and sue the home builder? I mean, I know it's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's really what it boils down to. You made an investment, you spent an insane amount of money because you wanted the notoriety of spending that insane amount of money. You got the notoriety of spending that insane amount of money, and now you're upset that you lost it? I'm sorry. I'm not crying for you. I'm laughing at you. That's just how I see it. Like I said, there's probably more to it. I'm still not, I'm still laughing at you. I'm sorry. Now, something else that I wanted to bring to people's attention. The Ripple lawsuit is a big deal. Okay, SEC versus Ripple. It is a big deal. The interlocutory appeal by the SEC just means that, you know, there are other things that are still pending. This shouldn't have been done. I don't know. I think there are separate pieces and separate chunks that could be ruled on, and you move on with the rest. So that's what they're fighting against. But in a later filing, they also noted that XRP is not a secure, is a non-security. Deep breaths, deep breaths. I just think the SEC is just trying to, you know, collect money, inflict harm on an industry, all because it's too lazy to sit down and work with regulators to create a path, a true path for companies to become legal. And why do I say that? I gave you an article last week about Prometheum. And that whole idea about Prometheum is around that. How did Prometheum, a company out of nowhere, get licensed? How'd that happen? So I look at that and I just go, yeah, how did that happen? And all these other companies are trying to work with you to become legal, but you keep moving the goalposts. You keep hiding the goalposts. You keep sending them to the wrong stadium. I just don't trust the SEC. Period. End of report. I mean, what kind of faith would I have in an agency that's operating in the mode that it's operating? I don't have any faith in them. And Gemini agrees. Why? Because they have filed a dismissal motion or motion to dismiss against the case. I mean, for the case where the SEC has taken them to court. And it's because they believe the SEC's case is weak. I mean, they should file that. You should always file a motion to dismiss. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they are going to go to court. I just don't think it's going to cost Ripple level money. That's what I'm really thinking, is that it's not going to cost Ripple level money for them. And I think there are going to be cases preceding their case that are going to kind of wash away that particular case. The SEC has a knack for using the same playbook against all of the centralized exchanges. They want to inflict as much harm as possible, and they want to collect as much money as possible without providing any kind of clear path for any centralized exchange to become legal in the SEC's eyes. Unless your company name is Prometheum. But that's just me. Sorry. Mike McLone is a senior macro strategist for Bloomberg. I read a lot of his stuff. Agree, disagree. But the guy's factual. So I really appreciate what he does. And he said, listen, there is a Bitcoin to gold volatility convergence. And right now, the volatility of Bitcoin is really, it's like insanely low, lowest ever. And he says that leads to the market believing that, you know, the level of risk in investing in Bitcoin is really low. Lack of volatility means, well, less risky means lower price. It really means no big pumps. So I'm still letting that wash over me. I'm still doing the research into it, but he makes a lot of sense. Except that macro events can also cause macro moves, meaning huge moves. So something like the halving event, something like a Bitcoin spot ETF, I think things like that can become, even if he's right, I think things like that can be an anomaly in that case, or anomalies in that case. So that's something I'm paying attention to. Anyway, you know what we should do? We should get into the numbers, even though the numbers completely suck right now. You see the big board the same way I see the big board. It's not looking pretty. Now you can. I just clicked over. It's not pretty. You have BTC just trying to maintain 26,000, and it's tough. When I woke up this morning, it was at 26.2. Now it's at 26 and looking like it might go back down to 25 and change. Again, I look at this as a buying opportunity for Bitcoin. Ethereum, Matic, Shiba Inu, just there are a lot, XRP even, Cardano. There are just, to me, a lot of coins out there that I'm interested in at these price points. Because, I mean, think about this. Let's say that nothing goes beyond $31,000. Let's just say, okay? That means we're going to bounce back and forth between here and there over time. So great, I buy here, I wait till it goes up a little bit, I sell, then it comes back down, I buy some, and I just wash, rinse, repeat. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's a good deal. But this is also why I teach my kids to diversify what their, investments are, right? So real estate, businesses, crypto, stocks, bonds, options, mutual funds. I tell them to diversify based on what their idea is for investment. And we discuss it. I'm just saying, keep up. Let's see. If you look at the board, look, that's a precipitous fall there. That is a precipitous fall, but we're still far away from my blue band all the way down here. We're still, relatively far from my other floor, which was a high at 25,211. Unfortunate that I can still see that number, 25,211. I don't want us to be near there. So we're going to need a catalyst to really bring us back up. Because if you look right here, this is pretty much where we were back here. So yeah, we went up, we kept bouncing, came down, up a little bit, and then fell off a cliff. But where did we fall off that cliff? Right back to where we were. Hence why I say we're still traveling within the same band, basically. So we've fallen out of my green band, right? My bottom of my green band was 26,475. So we've fallen out of that. But I think we can come back. DeFi Llama, you can see that we've taken a precipitous fall in total value lock there as well at 49 billion compared to 53 billion last week, even 54, 55. So that's not good. The fear and greed index, we have plummeted. Last week we were in the 50s. This week we're in we're actually in fear, not extreme fear, at 38. Yeesh, not pretty. However, I still think that there's pent-up energy. There's pent-up positivity. Why? Because transactions are high. Transactions are happening. People are gaining more faith in the space. That's why I think there's a possibility for things. Now, when I look at numbers side by side, everything's still moving laterally, not huge moves. On that tiny piece of time, it looks like it's a huge move, but it's really not. And this is what we should be paying attention to. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto. If you like what I'm doing, let me know. If you don't like what I'm doing, let me know. But let me know why. Tell me where I can improve, right? That's what I'm looking for. Criticism, but objective criticism that can help me improve. Anything that's going to make me better, I appreciate. Anyway, hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.